Hello, hello, and welcome along to Drathnor Keep. Third episode. We are at the Harvest-Tide Ball. Can everybody tell me where we started last session? Indeed. And at that point, you all received an invitation. Who had an unusual or different invitation to everybody else? Indeed. And why was his invitation unusual or different? They had forgot that they got a partner. They had forgotten that you were coming of age this year. They'd remembered everybody else. No, you look young. That's all. You might be the youngest, and I think Ragnar's 18th was relatively recently, so I think... Oh, that might have been a previous year ago. Okay. After you got your invitations, it was time to do some shopping. Where did we go, and what did we buy? Okay, that's nice and specific. Yeah, we went to Rihanna's Fine Clothier. Who bought new outfits? Was it only yourself? Hugo, what did you have a fit? Oh, you had a shift weave. Of course you did. Yeah, so it will fit. So yeah, one new fit. A couple of you got some adjustments. Who did Cael's embroidery? What was her name? Do you know what, Laura? You can have a little bit of inspiration for that. That was close. She was passing the work off as her own, and her name was... No, it began with a B. Belinda. It was Belinda's work. Yep. Where's another Belinda? Oh, is that one of Layla's incarnations? Okay, yeah. To be fair, I have like 40 of those to remember, and you guys only have one so far, maybe two. So that's a bit different. Different campaign. Don't worry about that. What did Ragnar buy when you went out shopping? He did get flowers in the pouring rain. Well, yes, and then he did buy. That did then happen. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What did Rihanna the clothier ask? Oh God, I nearly called you something completely different. Ask Olive to do. Mm-hmm. Correct. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to update the cast list. I'll have to do that next week. Let me just make a note for myself. Where did you find Lorelei, and what sort of thing? Indeed. What is her job there? She is the madam. Yes. And whilst you were there, her daughter popped along. Who is her daughter, and what was interesting about her? Sure, that it is Veronica Lavonovixen. And she turned up in her ball outfit. And you guys had to hide your eyes. She didn't tell you who was clothing her, but she did give you a hint. What was the hint? Mm-hmm. And that it's a female. Yes. Upon returning this, upon returning this information to Rihanna, what did she give you in return? What reward did she give you? She gave you a very specific reward. Mm-hmm. She gave you a wooden ring What does that ring do? Yes, yes, it is. A ring of message. Yep. Why did she give it to you? What did she find interesting about you? No, no, far from it. That you appeared like you did not want to be in the spotlight, much like she did not when she was young. It was your choice of less important dress. After that, you guys left the Dancing Dryad, and somebody returned later. Who talked, or who was rude to Hugo outside the door that left him fleeing in despair? Kieran Caraway and Kenvar Ashwinter, correct. Yep, and this guy by any chance? Something tells me it's not Kieran that you're looking at. That's giving Prince. Can I give you a spoil? Can I give you a spoiler, Jamal? Right the hell now. You know every single one of those nobles that are your age that aren't you guys? They're all evil. There you go. Happy Christmas. After that, you guys headed to the ball. And how are you received? Mm-hmm. Where were you sat? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, who? Who spilt wine over your dress and how? It was. It was Clementine who produced the effect. And how did she do it? Mm-hmm. And you knew it had something to do with one of the rings she was wearing. She knows she's not a mage. Yeah. And after that, who gave a speech to bless the feast? Grandma. That's in some ways weirdly correct. Also totally wrong. Yeah. Yuzure. But she's known as the mother. At the temple, so you weren't all that far off. If she's the mother of everyone, yeah, she blessed the feast, and that I believe is where we left off. Yes. Okay. It did not. Okay. As you all sit down for the feast, the first course is coming out shortly. If you, in fact, I think you remember that the first course probably arrived as you were sat there. But I think I improved the first course because I couldn't find the menu in my notes. So whatever it was great. But the next course is the next course. I think it was something with shrimp. I just pulled it up. Or meat and I might have offered you the meat or the fish. That would be a later decision though. Yeah. But I think there was something with shrimps at the beginning, but I don't know what it was. Regardless, what the next course is a single crystal flute of pear blushed cider laced with a whisper of fireleaf syrup. This is a gentle sort of pale orange flute of drink in a glass, and as you look in it, a single sort of orange brown leaf floats within the drink, spiraling to the top and back down again. Are we all happy to partake in full? Any teetotalers in the crew? Okay. Completely random and irrelevant question that has nothing to do with anything. Anyone here like playing Barbarian? No, somebody who isn't Matt, please. I think Josh, I think it's going to be you. So yeah, Josh, if you could open up Matt's character sheet, please. I sure as hell know that Ragnar is drinking from this glass. There is no way. I'm sure the yes me was to do I like playing a barbarian, not to who's teetotal. Because I'm pretty sure he drank a pitcher of ale in episode 1. Yeah. So can I have from all of you, please, a constitution saving throw? I will say that Ragnar's can be with advantage by virtue of A, him not being here, and B, he drank a pitcher of ale in our first episode. With advantage? Sick. Anyone below a 12? Alex. Yeah, as you finish that drink, you sort of you feel everybody sort of raised it and tipped it in one go. It was done between everybody, and you feel this sort of fire. It starts burning right at the bottom of your belly, and then it sort of works its way up, and you open your mouth to say something. You're not sure what, because what emerges instead is a loud and uncouth belch. It is. Give me a performance check. Yeah, you hear a furious. Ooh, I don't have this information to hand. Olive, what is your mother's name? Did you just make that up on the spot? Okay, good. Right, okay, you knew it already. I was gonna say, like, the speed at which that came out, you were like, he was like, oh god, like, I have no idea, and then suddenly, bam! Brian, right, okay, yeah. You just hear her go, Olivia no, not Olivia Wildheart at all. She's definitely not gonna say that. Sorry! Two people's characters open at once, and she goes, Olivia Honeydew! Goodness me, mind your manners. Alex, you look over and neither your grandmother and grandfather have not seemed to notice that you were the original object of shame. Most of the other tables, however, have. There is, at some tables, a smattering of giggling coming your way, and at other tables, exasperation, embarrassment on your behalf, and anger. Okay, nobody will question that at all. Shortly after, the first course will come out, but as you all received the welcome draft, I would like, please, a culture check from anybody that is proficient. Is anyone proficient in culture in this particular table? Just Caelharin. And Cael, you will remember that the welcome draft, this particular toast, is rumoured to awaken honesty in conversation. That couldn't possibly go wrong. Mm-hmm. Yes. The next course comes out, and what you'll see is each one of you is served a small, like, almost like a slice of a tree. Is the plate, so it's like a slice of tree bark. On the top are 8 delicate garlic cloves glazed in honey and rosemary, tucked inside edible little chrysanthemum petals. Slightly drizzled over it is a maple and vinegar. This is a delicate course meant to amuse the bouche. Yes, it is amusing. Well, you weren't meant to get. That's what I was saying. The first course was never meant to be a thing, right? Because I'd lost my menu, and I didn't. I told you there were a lot of errors in my first couple of episodes. You brought your own shrimp, exactly that. And as this amuse-bouche is going on, you pick up a smattering of conversation from the table near you. give me a perception check if you are proficient, please. Okay. I didn't know Ragnar was proficient in perception. Okay. At the table to your side, you will see Alamor, Nassim, and Serena having a conversation. The three of them say, "That boy Cael, I heard his father hasn't written in months. Maybe he's found another woman." No, they're wearing matching outfits. They're in slightly different colours. No, they're not matching at the ball at all. They're matching in this outfit for a reason, by the way. I think there should be a third of them that wears a fairly similar outfit, but you haven't met him yet. No, this is to do with their position at court. Both Alamor and Nassim, and one other who is older, who I would have to go very deep delving for, are three of the chief apprentices, if you will, of Hodron. They are trained by Master Varello, and Hodron is the captain of the guards. So some nobles serve in a guard capacity for some years during their sort of noble duty as soldiers. But Alamor, Nassim, and I must have it somewhere. No, one of the Malava brothers, I think it is, one of Oldor's older brothers, are being trained to be captains in the guard. And that is their garb, if you will. But at the moment they are wearing Harvesttide gear, wearing, they've got their pin, they're wearing red and brown and gold, with no green capes. And you hear Serena sort of say, "That's terrible." Then again, looking at his mother, why would he write at all? A few people wonder why your table are being suddenly so oddly loud. But apart from that, Cael doesn't notice. That's nice, isn't it? Just before the third course arrives, Alex, a servant comes to you bearing a rather elegant silver goblet with rubies on it. Inside is a dark red wine. You sort of know your wine. Yeah. Oh dear. Right. Sorry. And as he walks away, you can see sort of at one of the head, right near the head table, one gentleman sort of raising his hand and pointing really quite angrily to one of the servants. You recognize this man who is pointing angrily as Galen. Galen is the tutor in etiquette, and he would be responsible for the servants getting it right. The seneschal is in charge of the servants, but it's clearly Galen's very angry, and he calls the servant over. And you notice the servant leaves the goblet at his table and leaves looking highly embarrassed. You will not see that servant again. Mm-hmm. No. It's quite clear he hasn't ordered it. The goblet has been left to the side of him, because it was delivered to the wrong person, not because it was it was meant to be delivered to him, and he has dismissed the servant. Following up, a sort of very delicate. The servants come and clear one plate and serve the next at the same time. The courses are quite small and light, so it's quite easy for them to sort of get a good time scale on it. And your little tree trunk is taken away. And instead you have this sort of floral patterned porcelain plate, upon which has sort of a wide wide brim, I suppose. That's the right word. And inside is a savoury consomme of mushroom and wild root with flecks of truffle. And you will see a sort of beautiful spiral of cloud cream on the top. And cloud cream is quite interesting because if you make it thin enough, bits of it will just float up into the sky. And that gives a very amazing effect when they're served to all these people in the bowl. Talk amongst yourselves. Sorry, what did you say you're doing, Alex? You're not the only people doing it. Even some of the older nobles are sort of taking spoonfuls and purposely leaving bits to fleck up towards the ceiling. You'll notice that it dissipates into nothing, about 2/3 of the way to the ceiling, into clouds, if you will. Go on. Who said As you do, the room goes quiet. Yes. Hugo, traditionally when somebody stands, it is to make a speech. If you are going to exit the room, you stay crouched and you put your hand up to say, like, to apologize, and then you duck out to go to the toilet. If you stand, like, even as a halfling, your chair moved, the sound of your chair moving backwards in the ballroom is quite, in the feasting room, quite enough, exactly. Not only that, but you're on a chair that's quite high up to allow you to be at the same table as Ragnar, who's got, like, a flat bit of chair and then, like, tiny little legs. Are you actually going to stand up, or do you want to stay seated? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. How far can gusts blow things? 15 feet? Yeah. The likelihood of you blowing these accurately to your parents is 0. Yeah, so you could get it across the table. You could get it to Ragnar with that. It's a big round table. You are probably 100 feet away from your parents. There is a moment when the feast comes to an end, where the lantern ceremony takes place before the ball, before the dancing. That would be the appropriate moment to go and find said parents. Pocket them and wait. Welcome in, Matt. Oh god. Oh no.
You've been muted this whole time.
Things break.
I think we were just muted on this screen.
Oh,
but
no.
There's a good chance that I've had the whole
If we have to redo,
muted.
can I give them the flowers before we sit down?
We won't redo. We'll just recap. Yeah. As yet, nothing of too much importance has happened. So we'll just carry on and soldier through and just assume that James is an idiot. It's perfectly plausible it was just muted on this screen. Anyway, welcome in, Matt. Ragnar and Alex, make a dex save.
Oh boy.
Oh, wow.
And Olivia, give me a perception check.
I will gladly. See why my friends are making a dex save. 15.
Yeah. You see you see Uldor Malaver with a sort of large serving spoon, a reminder that Uldor is this guy. He is dressed properly for the ball, but he is massively muscular. He is Rydian's right-hand man. And he takes his spoon and he pulls the cloud foam cream all the way back and then fires it once and then twice. Dex save, Ragnar?
14. Can I have tried to catch it with my mouth?
Yeah, that is practically what your 14 is. Both of you failed. So Ragnar, you sort of and get it splat on your cheek. Alex, it hits just the side of your hair. And it just sort of returns to its more liquidy cream form and starts like dripping down your hair. You hear a loud guffaw of laughter.
Hey.
Your hair is not an object. It cannot be prestidigitated. You can be dried a little bit, right? But
and if you need
warmed.
to go to the bathroom to clean it out, you have to like barrel roll yourself out of the room.
You just put your hand up and stay stooped. But yes, you can take a cloth from the table and attempt to dry out your hair, or you could have Ragnar lick it off.
Did none of the adults notice this?
Did anyone
They're
else
miles
see this?
away. You've got to think.
Oldor.
Did they notice us?
You've got to think. Well, yeah, when you make big belching noises, but you've got to think like you guys are all the way down the end, and then there's like lots and lots of these tables. Like
Sure,
this.
but they noticed when the table was flipped.
Did they? No, I think they noticed the ensuing argument that was quite loud, and at that time the place was fairly empty. As you enjoy your forest broth with shaved truffle and cloud cream, you will hear one of the bards sort of stand up briefly and announce that he's going to play one of his own compositions, to which there is a polite smattering of applause.
Yay.
And then, sorry, I've clicked the wrong thing. And then sort of everything resumes as it was. He sort of takes out his lute and begins to play. And at some point that'll happen for you guys too. Because I don't know why it's taking so long to load. There we go. Listen to him go.
There we go.
As he begins to play and you finish up your consomme, you will hear a little announcement that, first of all, the next course is going to be Rivergold Trout. And there is some appreciation made for a Marcus and Sal of Drathnor Town, who caught these Gold River trouts and prepared them for the meal. It's Marcus and Sal. And this is a speciality that's from the riverbanks near Drathnor, prized for its golden sheen. Also, you are told that just one of these fillets of fish will contain a coin. If you are so lucky as to have the coin, you will be the winner of this year's sort of lucky draw, if you will. The winner of the draw has a sheath, weapon, or armor commissioned for them. If they are a male, it's very sexist here. And if they are a female, they will have a gown commissioned for them.
I want a gown.
Okay, if I win, Hugo, you can have the gown. If
Okay,
win,
you can have the
give me
weapon.
this. Thank you.
The five of you, roll me a d100, please, as this as it is served. This is a thin sliced trout, smoked and chilled, served on toasted crisps with fennel and apple blossom. I've got a 15, a 79, a 64, a 7, and
Nope, sorry, 79.
79. Cael and Alex
I leave
somehow got the same piece of fish. And 91. In fact, I will allow who rolled second. Alex, reroll. Alex.
Okay,
Come on, Alex.
She's going to get a 15 now. Or a 64.
55.
Okay, great. So all four of you look inside your fillet, but do not have a golden coin. And after a little while, you will see an older noble stand up and look very sort of nervous at standing up, if you will. Lady Imogen Hallisbury, Bertram's wife, Serena's mother. I think it's Serena's mother. Is that right?
Yes, she is. She is sharp-tongued realist.
Serena and George's mother. Yeah, you can see she almost doesn't want to claim her prize, but she sort of holds her golden coin up, and you hear some.
I clap very loud. with my
The
hands.
bard bows, assuming that you are clapping for him, not for the coin,
Wow.
because he finished his song at roughly the same time, and your clapping was a bit too loud to possibly be for somebody
is
pulling
fair.
a coin out of their
A fish.
out of their fish.
I didn't know there was music playing.
Yes,
Can we eat that fish?
No, Ragnar didn't know.
No, even though it was announced the bard will be playing the next song. Your next course will be a quail basted in spiced plum glaze, garnished with roasted chestnuts and sprigs of thyme. And what's interesting about this is that as it is served, it's served with a special knife to the side of it. And as soon as every plate is served, the knife will jump up from the plate and go and cut it into beautiful little thin slices, and then sit back down on your plate.
By the way, guys, I've been coming up with some lyrics for a song for us to next perform at our next gig.
Let me hear it.
Just before you do, can I just get Cael to roll me a D100, please? And then carry on, Josh.
I don't have, like, the music or anything yet, but it kind of goes like this. You might not believe your eyes if 10 million fireflies lit up the world as I fell asleep.
It sounds like you
Take
have
me
it
away
down.
from here.
That's,
Says another noble at another
Hugo.
table.
Hugo, that's
Sounds like-
copyright.
I love the idea. I love the idea that Ragnar knows every track that's been played. No one else.
Really good with piracy laws.
I think Owlbear Town did that one.
How bad town. Oh, I love that.
I thought it sounded familiar.
Cael, everybody else's knife sat neatly upon the plate after slicing its quail. Yours quivered slightly and pointed at you before lying down.
It didn't cut his food.
It cut his food, but then everybody else's went down his
okay.
plate, and his one just turned slightly towards him and then sat.
Giving you the middle finger.
What's my knife threatening me?
What did you do to it?
What happened?
Well, strange magical occurrences have occurred around you all your life,
Maybe it's
so it won't be too much of a
wow.
surprise.
Hmm.
This is
I thought it
particularly.
was only my own magic. I didn't realise it would be the knife as well. That's terrifying.
It's just your magic latently affecting it. You could assume.
Now I need to be careful around cutlery as well. Oh dear.
You know that the next course is Lady Felia's favourite, but before it's served, there's a brief moment where people are allowed to get up freely. And this might be an opportunity for you, Hugo. I'd forgotten about this. But in this brief moment for people to get up freely, the main purpose is for them to obviously go to the bathroom if they wish, wash their hands, however else they might wish to, whatever else they might wish to do. But you'll notice the servants all seem to go to the main door. The door opens, like the main doors to the outside open slightly. All the servants file out briefly and file back in after a few minutes. Is there anything that any of you would like to do in this short intermission?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we'll start with Ragnar, then we'll go to Hugo, then we'll go to Alex.
I'm gonna go over to Uldar.
Oh, I'm going with you.
As the two of you approach, I would like to, I'd like to shed a little light on Uldor. Let's take a little moment to reflect on who this is. Uldor is probably the person who you've had the most physical bullying from. Mostly at Ridian's, yes. Mostly at Ridian's instruction. This is the sort of person who has thrown pails of water at you, flicked you with a towel.
Exactly.
He's just trying to make me. He's just trying to make me tough.
To trip you over. All of this sort of thing.
He's the worst.
Ridian's often the architect, but he gets Uldor to do it mostly because he knows that even Ragnar wouldn't be stupid enough to try and hit Uldor, because Uldor would lay him out. As the two of you approach, you just hear, oh, look, we've got company. The peasants are flocking into the main hall. What does the oaf want?
I just wanted to thank you for the food you gave me and Alex.
Oh, is that the angle we're taking? Okay.
Ragnar genuinely thinks Uldor was giving him food.
Okay, I think we came here under different pretexts. Let me cast message to Ragnar real quick.
Oh.
Ragnar, he was bullying you and messed up Alex's hair.
You
I'm
are
gonna mess
so
with that.
very well.
But I was hungry.
I'm sure that we could arrange a couple of other express deliveries, don't you think? Oh, yeah. You just hear from Uldor over at the corner. perhaps we might see you on the dance floor this evening, Oaf.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Oh yeah, I'm
So
sure
can you
will.
just give us a break? We're trying to mind our own business over here.
I believe you approached the table.
After you
Brave.
threw shit at us.
And that was me thinking you were going to play a game where he goes over the chairs and you go under them.
That would be pretty fun.
What chairs?
He gives you a weird look, like there's not a chair around every table. And then Ridian sort of looks over at you directly, Olivia, and says, I thought you spent more of your time hanging out with less human companions.
I do. You think I want to be here?
Outfit's saying no. But never mind, you're here anyway. Is that a little embroidery of your little friend on your skirt? Oh, that's adorable. Come
Obviously.
here. Let's have a closer look.
No.
And Uldor reaches out like quicker
I
than you
step
can
behind
realize.
Ragnar.
And is just going to yoink you from around Ragnar and forwards. And literally lifts you off the ground and dangles you about 2 foot off the ground.
Get
Wait.
your hands off of me!
Silence, peasant. Oh, look. She's got a little embroider of him. Do you think she
Flailing
sleeps with
around.
him at night? What do they call that? That offspring. Oh, that's right. Olive. That's what they call it. Half halfling, half bear. Is that why they call you a halfling? It's only half of you's human.
Stupid.
What's a clover?
Never mind. Put me down! Oh my god, is anyone else seeing this?
I'm sitting right next to you, just watching.
Your parents at another table are sort of just from their eyes, really hoping that you don't embarrass yourself further.
I'm getting dangled here.
Yeah, exactly. You're being embarrassed.
How big is Uldar?
He's 6'5", but he's muscled. Like,
Muscular.
yeah, like
Damn.
absolutely massive. So whilst he would
Brick
stand
house.
shorter than you, he's just, and you know that he's really well trained in fighting as well. You know, he's set up to be the next general of the Drathnor army, like the Garena army is probably the course he will take. His father was the general there for 10 years. Not as stupid as he looks either. And as Radiant sort of says, Ulda, put her down. You might get your hands dirty.
Oh,
Ulvor
smart.
just drops you from like 2 foot in the air, and as you sort of hit the floor with a loud clatter, you just say, take your seats, please.
I help Olive up.
Alex, what were you doing?
Thank you.
I went
Hugo,
to the
I will.
restroom immediately to get a damp cloth to clean out my hair.
As you enter the restroom, you see Elizabeth and Clementine standing at
God.
one wash basin. Oh, you seem to have had an accident. Were you on your knees?
Wow.
No, Uldor dropped something quite clumsily.
Oh, I suppose you wouldn't have to be on your knees for him.
Despicable.
That wouldn't be anyway.
Oh, dear, it's all through your hair. It's almost an improvement. At least it covers up that weird wine stain you've had in it for the last year.
I just start ignoring them completely.
I heard that somebody was going to ask her to the ball. Shame they didn't have an invitation. She'll fit in well with the peasants eventually, don't you think? It's about time she learned her place. And this sort of conversation goes on as you rinse out your hair and leave. As you leave, make a dex save, please.
Oh my gosh.
No, 12.
You just hear from behind you. You turn and you catch just the very edge of a sort of blue powder floating through the air towards you. You notice it's very akin to the delicate blush that has been placed on the shoulders of Clementine, sort of on her collarbones, if you will. And as you look down and behind you, you will see that everywhere that you've dampened your hair, blue powder is clinging to it and the edge of your dress. Oh, how careless of me, I'm sorry. I breathe heavily sometimes when confronted with sheer ugliness.
How do you stand a mirror? And I'll leave.
Oh, got her ass.
As you go to leave, the door sort of opens really fast into your face, and then you're able to sort of scurry out away from it. Hugo,
Hello.
were you wandering in the intermission?
Yeah, so as we're allowed to now get up, I will grab the puppies by the stem, throw them up in the air, and then, gesturing wildly, will continuously cast Gust as I walk on over to where my parents are.
Nice.
Make me a strength save.
Oh, God.
About to get hip dropped by someone. Strength, you say?
He's about to get rock bottom.
Is this against being frightened?
No.
Strength
I am
save
frightened.
against frightened.
You never know.
Strength of will.
That's a 4.
A natural 4.
As you walk past Wilhelm's and Rydian's table, you just get a shoulder, sort of hip right into your shoulder, and you just clatter sideways into a chair. You bump into the table of the Windthorns. Lady Alessa Windthorn sort of looks down to you and, "Will you watch what you're doing, foolish little child?"
I didn't do anything.
You walked into my table! Walk away!
I turned to the other side to see who just bumped into me.
Yeah, you see Wilhelm sort of nonchalantly looking the other way, standing next to his table with a glass and wine in his hand.
I look up at his towering stature and I just start looking for my flowers.
Yeah, they haven't drifted too far away, and you're able to carry on a little way further to your parents' table, off to the side. And as you reach your parents' table, you just sort of, Hugo, what's this?
I stop casting, and the purple poppy and the red poppy float very gently down and land in front of them. The purple one's for my dad, and the red one's for my mum.
That's very sweet of you, dear. You really should be a little careful about showing off your abilities in front of the nobles. They might... Well, you know they won't be supportive. They never are.
Well, I wasn't sure... Is this my mum talking or my dad?
Your mum.
My mum. I wasn't showing off, Mum. I was just using magic. I wasn't...
I know that your intentions were to enjoy it and to give us a gift, and I really do appreciate it, but... You don't want to give them any other reasons to single you out. Did you not see what they did to your poor friend Olive?
No, what did they do? I turn around looking for her.
They were dangling her in the air. That old man was.
Can't someone do something? Someone from this end of the room?
You know that their parents could cause us all manner of problems if we were to get involved. And our standing at court isn't all that good anyway. Even Olive's parents would have real issues if they got involved with the Malavers. No, it has to be seen as child's play, or it'll become an adult's duel. And I fear that neither Olive's parents nor Olive would fare well in a duel against any of the Malavers.
Well, maybe they can choose a champion.
There's nobody at court, apart from perhaps Maestro Varello, who could stand up to the Malavers, and most of them wouldn't on our behalf. You've got to remember that we just don't have the standing. None of us do. Can you please stop rattling your dice, or I'm going to take them away from you? That's your father speaking.
You're going to be playing with some rocks.
Oh, the next course is coming. Thank you so much, darling. And she sort of pins it to her chest, and she helps your father pin it to his. Go on now. Keep yourselves to yourselves. Just enjoy your time with your friends and forget about the rest. Look forward to the dancing and the lanterns.
Okay, but I don't want to get knocked about again. Can I?
Maybe scurry down. Maybe scurry down the side passage here behind the pillars.
Okay, as I give her a mischievous wink, and as I get to the side, I am going to wild shape into a bunny.
Aww.
Yeah.
And start blotting down.
Give me a
He's about to get rock bottomed.
just
real.
make it
About to get
bunnied.
A bunny with hair.
Yeah, he will make it a bunny in a second.
Yeah, 1 second.
And yeah, as you sort of scurry along, give me a stealth check.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Wait, where did he go?
Nick.
Why has that not worked?
I have no idea.
Okay, maybe because we're not on a grid. Maybe because we're not on a grid. You'll just have to accept that it's a good bunny
Sure,
because the art's not
put the
anything. You
picture
can stick it in
the-
Discord for the other people. I can't
Yeah,
make it happen
I'll
at the
believe.
moment.
No, you're good, you're good.
Yeah. And stealth check when you're ready, please.
Yes. Here's the bunny. And
Oh my gosh.
How cute.
okay,
It's like a children's book illustration.
exactly.
This
That is a
character.
10.
Okay. You get about halfway down,
Okay.
and one of the older nobles sees you and will aim a boot at you.
Oh my god.
Luckily for you,
stomp
however,
him?
that is a 7 to hit. No, they were going to try and kick him at the wall.
My god.
Yes, a 7 misses. I will jump up.
Thank
I will
goodness.
jump over the boot.
It was Sir Edric who tried to kick you. He's not
He looks
currently
so
wearing armor.
jovial.
Well, he is jovial when he's playing with his friends, but he doesn't like the idea of bumping into a rabbit with a hairstyle in the middle of his feast. As you guys return to the table, you may all regather. Yeah, the next course is Mazefold, which is probably a favourite of most of you. This is a hand-layered pastry made of maize that has little layers of honey in between. If you've ever had millefeuille, it's somewhat similar. And then next to it is an ember-roasted squash mashed with cardamom and salt flakes, which sort of takes away from the sweetness. You know that this is Lady Felia's favourite course, and indeed her favourite pastry of all. And just a reminder to anybody, Lady Felia is the lady of the court. Her and Lord
That big
Bantus
boss.
are the Lord and Lady of the court. It's a nice, enjoyable course, and you'll hear that the conversation's got a lot more jovial. And a servient will come and servier you,
Whoa.
and eventually makes his way to your table and sort of looks up. Any other drinks?
Yes.
For all of you? More wine?
Oh.
Yes,
What?
please.
Do they only have wine at this? Like, what other drinks?
It is
Alcohol drinks.
Yeah, it is wine that will be served at this point. You may have had a light ale with the meal, but at this point, it is all wine being served.
Yes.
I would love a hot
Wine
chalky.
for all of us.
What did you say, Mikyala?
No, I will.
I would love a hot chalky.
Not a thing right now.
With marshmallows.
All right, I'll take the wine then.
5 wines.
Okay. 5 goblets of wine are brought to the table.
5 wines. burgers, and fries.
And another one for anybody else who wants one.
So 2 for Ragnar, so 6.
Yeah, the reason why they're serving you the deep red wine. No, I thought it was 5 for Ragnar.
Oh no, I would have 5 for everyone, knowing probably everyone did probably want it. I
Great,
did
so
that
you
for,
know
like,
you get
half
at least
hours.
1 or 2, yeah. And after this, the wine has been served specifically for the next course. This is something you only ever see at the Harvest Festival. It's a pale blue-veined cheese, and it's sort of dusted with a sort of powdered sugar. It's a sweet cheese dish, and then laid along it is what looks like a rose. Or specifically the stem of a rose. You would know this to be a sort of twisted sugar cane dyed green, with sort of like thorns of brown coming off of it. It's all sugar. You can eat the whole thing with the cheese, which is sort of very sour, which balances it out. And every time that this this meal is eaten at the feast, it makes you feel a little sort of light, a little sort of airy. It relieves any bloating you might have, but it also, in some people, causes you to float just an inch off the ground.
Yum.
It's only for a minute, but you will notice lots and lots of different people sat around are floating an inch off the floor. And it is at this moment, Ragnar, that I will ask you for a dex save, please. You do not see this coming.
Oh,
Don't see it coming. Oh
I
no.
don't think you even have that ability yet.
Can I give myself disadvantage?
You do not need to. Just give me a straight roll.
Uh-oh.
17.
Yeah. As you are sort of sat there enjoying your glass of wine, you take a little mouthful, and as you do, you bump into something that's in your wine. Sort of you catch it on your lip, like it bumps into your lip, and it's in your wine.
Ew.
And you managed to dodge this, and it came straight over your shoulder, landed in your glass. And as you look in, there is half a rotten apple in your
Ew.
wine. You were told
Rotten,
you would.
what
It's very obvious that it's rotten.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say.
This was just
Wasn't-
carrying around
I
a
would
rotten
have.
apple.
I would have eaten it if it wasn't too rotten.
No. And you know that Uldor's probably giving you the next bit of food on offering. But
I'm
yeah.
gonna turn to him. Next
He's
time,
3
just a
tables
little
away.
fresher. Oh, never mind.
But that's what you can say that across half the hall, and he's
I
sort of
will-
Across
yeah.
the room.
yeah, he gives a little
Yep.
smirk, and nothing more. The final course of the meal is a flaky pastry filled with spiced bear. Nope. Wow.
That's horrible.
How disturbing.
That feels
for all everyone.
targeted.
Oh, Jesus. What the hell?
Who planned this
There's-
meal?
there's-
That's cannibalism.
Let's try again,
I
shall we?
can't.
A flaky pastry
you
filled with
sound
spiced
Socrates.
pear, blackberries, apple, and fig, topped with sugared petals and a shimmer of edible gold. On the side is a dollop of cream, infused with that same essence that you had with the welcome draft, the fireleaf syrup. And you will note that in this time you see this little brown leaf sort of work its way to the top and then sit delicately on the top. Fireleaves are quite spicy, it's sort of like spiced pumpkin flavour. And this is the final course. A thoroughly enjoyable meal, but it also signals something that you would all know about. And it is traditional to file out from the back first, but only after the children have gone out. So you will see sort of filing past you all the younger children of the court, those that are sat at their parents' table. This might include Maya Winthorn, for example, two of the Malaver twins, Liana. So there are lots and lots of others,
That's
but
so
we'll find out a few of them at a time. And yeah, you can all, as soon as the last of the children old enough to go out on their own go out, you guys may follow outside.
Good.
There is a sort of air of anticipation, or waiting, while everybody's sort of is sort of anticipating this evening's lantern. Servants will move throughout the group and hand you all a flat orange and brown paper lantern and a small candle, like a little tea light. Is that what they're called in the US? Tea lights? Does that make sense to anyone?
Sure.
Yeah, we know what a tea
I
light is.
get what you're talking about.
Okay.
I've never heard that
A
term.
lighter.
A little tiny candle.
Yeah, it's a little tiny round
Little
flat
tea
candle.
candles.
Tea
Yeah.
candle, tea light, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, you would know that eventually you're going to fold out your lantern, you're going to put the little candle in it, you're going to light it, and it'll go off into the
Yep.
sky. Finally, the Lord and Lady Bantus will come out. And will stand behind you all, and you can all turn to face the keep. And he will say, I'd like to hand over to Lady Azure for a brief address. This isn't quite right, but we'll pretend we're not looking over the balcony and we're instead standing directly in front of the keep. And the lady sort of looks over and says, by grain and fire, by sun and stone, we thank the land that shelters us for the harvest just past. And we pray for next year's bounty and for stability over the year. Let our wishes rise like smoke, and may the seasons turn with mercy. And with this, the Lord sort of says, please prepare your lanterns. So you just place your little candle inside it, onto the edge of it, and then hold your lantern up high. Ragnar, give me a perception check with advantage, please.
Oh my god.
Nice, because I'm tall. Is that right?
I was gonna check if our lanterns had been tampered with. Paranoid at this.
17.
You notice one of the young boys next to you, Carson Caraway. He's very little, and his lantern is sort of it's floating off on its own, and he can't quite keep hold of it. Like this.
Can I help him?
Yeah, absolutely. You can sort of lower it down for him.
Here you go.
And you will hear a slightly distant and slightly cold "thank you." Not from Carson Caraway. The young child isn't distant and cold. Fear not. It hasn't gone that bad. It is from the Lady Mirella, who is glad for your assistance.
Ooh, bro.
I smile.
Yeah. And Hugo, you will notice that as you look up, a bird circling about a little bit. Give me a nature check, please.
I'd love to.
Have I fixed your nature check to be correct?
It's intelligence.
Oh, it is? That's unfortunate. Yeah. Oh, maybe because I thought you got some buff to it on your own. You do at level 2. Go ahead and give me a nature check, please. 19. Great, okay, that's fine. You will note that bird, and the way it's circling, is usually... It's a carrion bird. Not like a carrion film, but instead a bird that feasts on carrion, on the bodies of the dead. You would normally see this after a battle. It is not a good omen.
I will use a first level spell slot to cast Speak with Animals.
Josh, this bird is circling miles away, like right up in the sky. You can't speak with it from here.
You could yell.
Hello.
I could yell, first of all.
Shouting in bird.
No, you absolutely know. This isn't an animal you can talk with. It's way too far away, I'm afraid. You just note it. I mostly want to know if you would tell anyone, if you would shout it out loud, if you would very quietly whisper it to Olive, or whether you'd keep it yourself.
Mr. Grimm! No.
Effectively, yeah.
I think if I know that because I don't think... Yeah, I don't think Hugo is particularly superstitious, but I do think he would know that it's strange that a bird that feasts on dead bodies is here. Like, that's strange. So I will probably go up to Alex and kind of like tug on her dress.
As if enough hasn't happened to that poor girl.
I know.
Alex, obviously you will notice Hugo.
Everything okay?
I don't think so. Look up there. And I point up towards if the bird is still there. That bird, I've read about them in books. They eat dead bodies. You don't suppose there are any dead bodies around here, do you?
Alex, give me a survival check. See if you die.
Uh-oh.
Are you the body?
Uh-oh.
Jesus.
What did you get, Laura?
19.
19. You would know that sometimes carrion birds are particularly intelligent. They know there might soon be food. Sometimes they circle on the last indeed, and sometimes they circle on the last eve of battle, or as an exhausted elk fails to make its way away from mountain lions. They're often ready for the food before it's even died. But you see no signs of any approaching battle.
Probably just a wild animal that's at the end.
Do they feed on any dead body?
Yeah, any flesh.
Human, right?
No, not at all. It's almost never human.
But we're also in a city, so it's not like we've got like...
No, you're on the... So the keep exit is at the back of the castle. The keep is at the back of the town. So if you were to exit out the back, you're effectively on a hillside looking out over the land, not over the town. So you're not in the city, you're looking out over the land. And you do know there is plenty to hunt in the surrounding forests.
Have I ever noticed this bird here before?
No, but you probably don't come out to this particular area very often, as you've had to exit the main keep to do so. You probably would have gone out on hunting missions and stuff from the main gates. This is, it's not something, it's just a bad omen in your mind, that's all.
Okay, then I will turn to Alex. Oh, maybe just because so many things have gone wrong today, maybe I'm looking too far into this. I get the feeling that maybe this is nothing.
It's something, but...
Famous last words.
But at this moment, you will hear the Lord Banner say, "Raise your lanterns high!" It is customary to whisper a wish, a confession, or a silent hope before releasing your lantern.
Ooh, can we make perception checks to hear everyone else's secrets?
No, not sort of whisper, like actually whisper, like you would, but sort of you might sort of mouth it, or make a little wish. It's your birthday wish. But...
Oh, okay.
Make a wish. It's don't tell anyone, or it won't come true.
Yeah. But you will hear a couple of people sort of, I wish for riches coming forward or something like that. A couple of people say it out loud, but it's customary to keep it yourself. And as Maldranic, the court mage, sort of waves his hand in one swift motion, every single candle will light together. And you know that it is a sign of your fortune for the year coming, based on how high your lantern drifts. So, each of you please roll me a D100.
I'm going to whisper into my lantern, I wish to turn into a giant snake.
Seems very
Wink,
achievable.
wink.
Oh. What the hell?
Holy cow.
Mighty 10.
Wow.
Oh.
I think that means that I should be level 2 now.
Oh my god!
Hugo, you lose one wild shape spot.
No!
Damn.
Okay, bear with me a second,
What the frick?
and then I will ask you for your rolls.
Not great. It's fine.
Okay.
I wanted a low number.
What do we get? Cael?
Can I?
That would be a 48.
Okay. Your lantern rises decently high. It's a sign that things might be okay. Might just be alright. Alex?
96.
Your lantern rises gloriously, beautifully. Straight up. You feel a almost spiritual connection.
Does it hit the bird?
No, it does not. You feel an almost spiritual sort of connection with that moment. As if the grace of Saloon is watching over you. In fact, you do even see it pass across the face of the moon at one moment. It gives a little rise in your heart. And a D6.
Ooh.
Olivia.
38.
Yeah. It sort of goes up a little bit, bumps into a couple of other people's and goes a little sideways, but it's alright. Ragnar.
52. Also, can I lift the little kid in the air to help him get it up high?
Aww.
Yeah, you can lift George up a little bit. Was it George Caraway? Is that his name? I can't remember.
Or it was definitely George.
Obsession with that name.
Gotta be.
No, it's Carson. There is a George. Why don't I introduce him right now so that you know George Hallisbury does exist. He's a young prodigy with the sword. That's probably the last time we'll talk about him. No, Carson's a tiny little kid, and that is who you were helping, Carson Caraway.
All the way up in the air.
Yeah, okay, so you push your lantern up and then with your other hand sort of lift him up. And his mum gives you a little nod. You got what, sorry, a 52, did you say?
Yes.
Yeah, with a 52, yours sort of rises in amongst the crowd of most other people's. Hugo?
I think mine's broken. I've got a nat 1.
It's not good. You're very lucky that something else worse happens. So, Hugo, as your lantern sort of rises up a little bit, it's sort of, the candle sputters out. It comes back down.
goes out.
Yeah, and it sputters back down to the ground.
Can I try
You'll
and,
hear
like-
a very kindly, well, that's not supposed to happen. You can blame that one on me. And Maldranic will rest his hand on your shoulder. He appeared sort of almost out of nowhere. And he will relight your candle and ask you to roll again.
Oh my god.
Well, I would like to try and cast Gust to give it a bit of
Absolutely.
welly, you know.
Yeah. Give me a D100. Add 5 to the total.
Ooh, 93.
Yeah, and as your lantern flies up into the air, he will say, oh, and a little bit of your own magic to help it on its way. Wonderful. And then the hand's gone, and as you turn around, he's gone too. And then you hear a collective gasp as that vulture, it was a vulture, dives down at one of the lanterns, snatches it out the air, and crashes it into the ground.
Whose was it?
Everyone
In the middle of the crowd?
No, it's way out over the hill, but it's brought this single lantern down to the ground. As you look around, there's a collective silence. Nobody wants to admit it. Finally, you see a quiet. It was mine. And Sir Godric Amberfall steps forward. He bows his head quietly. He will walk over to his son, is that right? Nassim. He'll place his hand on his shoulder and say, your mother will care for you. Stay strong. Look after yourself. Gives him a tight hug. Walks away. While Banter sort of clears his throat. Well, let us not let the heavy omen fall over the rest of us. Godric will leave, so as not to bring his ill omens upon the rest of us.
Wow.
May he find a better fate elsewhere. And you will note that he does not call him Sir Godric or Godric Amberfall.
Oh my god.
Sir Nassim Amberfall. The fate of your family will fall upon your own shoulders, though your mother may stand as regent till you're 25. We'll take a short break.
Looks like Sir Godric Amber fell.
Welcome back to the second half of Drathnor Keep.
Dang.
You,
Lord Godric.
as you move in, the conversation is hushed, quiet. You hear a few people say, well, it's a good job he chose to leave. Lady Roneth's great-grandfather ignored the omens completely. The entire chandelier crashed down upon him at the next ball. Died in front of everyone.
God.
You'll hear a few other nobles speak up. You know, my grandfather's lantern exploded. His heart gave out only a day later. My mother, my great-great-grandmother gave her life in shame after her lantern set 3 others on fire. You know, a few other little moments like this. And there is sort of a couple of other mentions. A couple of lanterns flew very high and straight tonight. One even passed over the moon, perhaps a sign of fortune. All of this is paling, however, in comparison to the quiet conversation going on between Gazellin and Sir Nassim Amberfall.
Whoa.
You can see Nassim doesn't cry. Doesn't even look particularly sad. He's firm-faced, chin up. It's his mother, who is on the arm of Maestro Varello. Sort of reassuring him, you think, maybe? Anyone proficient in insight?
Mm-hmm.
Give me that roll.
Yep.
I am.
All 3 of you.
Ooh, an 18.
19.
Alex and Hugo, you get the impression that she is reassuring him that she had nothing to do with the incident. He doesn't seem particularly bothered either way.
Was she there during it, or could she have been wild shaped into?
She would have let her. She would have let out her own lantern.
Okay, that's
anybody like that would have been. As you return into the hall, it has been.
I do have one question.
Go on, Cael.
Have we heard of any of those cases where people have had these omens and they've been just totally fine? Has this ever happened, or has it always
The
been
only
a
person to
bad
ignore the
sign?
omens and not left and not died or given their life was the only person who didn't either give their life or leave was that gentleman, the Lady Roneth's great grandfather, and the chandelier fell on his head the following day, the following ball.
And the people that have left, have we ever heard what happened of them?
Only bad things.
Ah. Well, that sucks.
That sucks.
That sucks.
As you walk back in, the bards have chosen something purposefully chiff. The tables have been pushed to the side. Upon each one of them is placed a wheat sheaf, and servants from behind them will come and refill any goblets that are placed on them with the appropriate drink. There are 4 drinks being served this evening. The first is a slightly watered down ale. The second is a light pink sparkling drink. The third is a dark red wine, and the fourth, although usually reserved for the older male nobles, is a brandy that is slightly red in colour, in hue, if you will. As you return in, it is time for the first dance. You would all be expected to participate. So turn around and find a partner before one finds you.
Does it have to be one singular partner? Because me and my parents have a dance.
No. This particular waltz is a paired dance.
Okay. Who's gonna pair with... Hugo, will you dance with me?
I thought you'd never ask.
Okay, I'm sorted.
Cael, your mother will approach hurriedly, clearly not wanting to be paired with anyone else.
Aww.
Aww. That's cute.
I love your mom. What's your mom's name?
Jamal here.
Yes. Her name is Myra.
Moira or Myra? Myra, yeah.
Myra.
Okay.
Or is it Mrs.
What's your dad's name?
Harringdon?
Only if you're nested.
His name is Barnaby, or
I believe they call him Captain AWOL.
Yeah.
Ragnar, Alex, are you taking any dangerous risks, or would you like to just turn to each other?
Ragnar will do nothing unless given guidance.
Ironically, she's got
Cast
that.
guidance.
He's like awkwardly looking around.
She has guidance, right?
He doesn't dance.
Yep.
At least doesn't dance well.
I will.
So you would know. You would know. Even Ragnar, who may be socially unaware, would still know that there are 3 dances that it is sort of very bad taste to not participate in if you are physically capable.
Well, yeah, it's not that he refuses to participate. He just can't dance well, and like
That's fine. That's absolutely
if someone doesn't bring him to dance, he's not going to ask anyone.
But all the talk. Oh, gone.
I will turn to Ragnar and be like, "Please don't make me ask anybody else.
Okay.
Thank you." We'll cast guidance.
All attention is turned to 3 details. First,
Oh god.
the Lady Caelharin is indeed dancing with Maestro Varela. And this is news to some people.
Ooh.
Even though she was on his arm briefly, not everybody had noticed. The
Is
second,
that the secret that we found out
yes.
last week?
Yeah.
The second is that Lorelei is not dancing with her date or appointed date, Diplomat Kurkan, but is instead dancing with Maldranik, leaving Diplomat Kurkan a little
What a little minx.
flustered for a moment, though he will take the arm of Lady Yazore, the priestess, which sort of gets him off the hook. And the third, and certainly the most interesting in your circle, is who will Veronica Levonovixen allow to dance with her?
Oh.
Lord Bantus.
No. She heads over very, very determinedly and gives a nod to your tutor, Scribe Thedas.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Okay. She's
That's
not
not
the
good.
teacher.
She is of an age to have announced her romantic interest. But just before she dances and she takes Scribe Thedas' hand, she takes a single red rose and she places it on the table.
Okay.
As a woman of the court, it is her right to do so when she is ready, which now signals that she is eligible for courting. She will toss this rose after the dance. The catcher may be eligible for a dance with her later on, but she is now eligible to be courted by the men of the court. She is willing to seek a marital partner.
Oh.
Is
Congratulations.
she mean to us like the other nobles? Because she wasn't mean when we saw her.
Very distant. She has really been
just
mean
ignores
or
us.
she's disinterested in any other nobles at all. She doesn't play the political games. She remains the dancing dryad most of the time. She comes to the balls and she effortlessly and with seeming endless grace just floats above all of the drama. You know
Yeah,
that Elizabeth is
that's good,
jealous
okay.
of her, but she's never really acknowledged Elizabeth's existence.
She's not mean, but she keeps to herself.
She tends, if speaking to any nobles, to speak to the adult nobles, as if the people of her own age are beneath her. Or
Well, we know
irrelevant.
why. Because vampires are really blasé about. That's why.
But as the dance begins, I
Her
will.
presenting this rose is not her saying she wants to date this teacher, right?
No. She's put it on the table to say that
Okay.
after the dance, she will toss the
Got it.
rose, and from
she's just
that
like,
moment.
yes.
So, give me a
Okay.
culture check, Mikyala, as Olive. Give it to me with advantage because you're obviously interested.
Nat 20.
Nice.
There you go. So you would know, your mum's already spoken to you about this process. The first thing is that often multiple girls will present these roses. Usually the last dance they have before presenting this rose is with their father.
Oh.
However, you would know that Veronica Levonovixen is a noble, and Scribe Thedas is not a noble father. Whilst Lorelei is noble in blood, you know that her father is a noble of some sort, and it is unknown who her father is. You would assume that Veronica also doesn't know who her father is, so she has chosen the man who maybe educated her and taught her as a father
that's
figure
sweet.
to dance with. You're right, Josh. Did I say something wrong?
She doesn't know.
No, I was laughing at something else, sorry.
Okay. You would assume that at least if she does know, she's not announcing it here. If Scribe Thedas was her father, she wouldn't be a noble. So she's chosen the man who sort of educated her as a father-like figure. You know that some other ladies of the court who don't have a father might choose to do this. And in fact, there was a relatively famous moment before your time, which you would have heard about it, that the Lady Gazellin, sorry, not the Gazelle. The Lady Gazellin had the gumption, the balls, to dance with Lord Bantus as her final dance. Before presenting her rose, even though obviously he's a married man, but she saw him as her patron in court, who was also a noble lord.
Patron?
Not uncommon.
It's not uncommon for somebody to dance with a father figure before they toss the rose if they haven't got their own father. It was uncommon to take Lord Bantus as your partner for the time, and was very interesting that he accepted it. Anyway, this is the Sun Circle Waltz. This is a dance designed to symbolize the turning of the year, the changing of the seasons, and you would know that the aim is to dance from spring to winter.
Perfect.
And the most notable of the 3 seasons within this dance is the harvest tide, the autumn, if you will. And it is that point that you will be asked to spin your partners. This symbolizes, as the dress flares out, the turning of the leaves, the falling of the leaves. Hopefully, none of you are going to fall. So I need, please, a an athletics or acrobatics check from Ragnar, Cael, and Hugo. Please.
Guidance.
Oh, yeah.
I am
You're
guided.
getting
I will tell you, you're about to make a check for yourself. Are you sure you wish to guidance Ragnar, who's quite strong, as opposed to yourself?
She guided me before the dance even started, she said.
I did, yes, I did.
Well, you might be dropping concentration on it just as he's about to spin you when I tell you what check
Whoa,
you're
Oh
going to be
my
making.
god.
Maybe not, because I didn't roll nice.
Hugo, Cael, and Ragnar, what did you get?
Okay.
I got a 12.
My acrobatics was an 11.
Can I roll my cards? Can I roll my D4 inspiration?
You have a D8 from your comment before the For the chat, which one do you want to roll?
Oh, I do. I'm gonna roll the D8. I don't want to.
Okay,
I don't
cool.
want to drop
Yeah,
out.
not your D8.
Oh, that's kind.
Cael with an 11. You just about
Try your
get
best.
your mother round the turn. She's quite a light
Nice.
woman. Hugo, you got a 12. Olive's a very light partner. The DC for her was a 6. So it's quite easy. You just sort of
How
boom.
rude.
G-Flop Ragnar, at the moment you're about to turn, Alex, you sort of think
I got
to yourself,
a 16.
You think to yourself, all that is necessary for the triumph of evil is that good men do nothing. Don't drop Alex.
That sounds like Ragnar.
He's getting fired up.
And as he sort of twirls her around, she wasn't all that heavy. It was only a 10 DC, but you have succeeded with glory.
got there
As you
with the
raise her
guidance.
so high, you have raised her DC.
Oh my god. I passed without the.
So I need a performance check,
I kinda
please,
like that
from
he opened
Olivia. From it's very
Jesus.
logical. From Olivia and from Alex. No surprise if she chooses to guidance herself and
Or
remove
no.
3
I
from
have a-
his roll.
We're putting on a
I have a
show.
question.
Mm-hmm.
I would have said that dancing was one of my chosen extracurriculars.
Oh yeah, I would assume so.
So even though
Love
I'm not
dancing.
proficient in performance, can I add my proficiency?
No.
That's
Perhaps
okay.
if you were dancing with a competent partner, yes. But Ragnar proclaimed quite
Ragnar.
loudly prior to this that he does not dance.
Does not dance well.
But he's doing his best. He's trying so
Could be
hard.
worse.
He is trying very hard.
Maybe
Alex?
too hard.
Performance check.
I will add a d4.
Do not fear
Nice.
failure. Fear not trying.
So true.
What did you get?
A 17.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah.
Oh,
Ragnar
wow.
twirls you up high, and your dress flares beautifully as you come back down through the side. Olivia Honeydew, how did you do?
10.
Great. You stumble slightly. Nobody
Middle of the
notices.
road.
It's happening way below everybody else's line of sight.
Oh, so rude.
The two of you sort of, it's a little rambunctious, the two of you, because you have to move quicker steps to stay out the way of the larger people who are moving more
Yeah, we're
gracefully.
kinda skipping.
So you are having a little skip. And it is
it's kinda
really,
cute.
it's really quite sweet.
Aw.
Cael, your mother got a natural 20 on her performance check and looks fabulous. Which, thank this little dude,
being
this little
upstaged
red
by
die. Well, you're not being upstaged, the women are the
That's
stage.
awesome.
And as the rest of you move around, you will notice that Lorelei and Maldranic are dancing up a storm at the center. He is completely
Whoa.
cheating. His arms are almost perfectly still on hers, and a sort of second ethereal pair are guiding her through the steps. She's being flung very high, and you notice that she is the most graceful dancer you have ever seen. You catch her at the corner of your eye multiple times, and it is traditional to watch Lorelei in at least one dance. Most people take a dance off just to watch her with a good partner. But you all make it through fairly well. And after the dance, at the end, one of you is going to be approached.
Oh, God. What now?
Ragnar. A note is pushed into your hand.
Ooh.
Yeah, I open it, but I can't read.
Pictures or braille or?
It's hieroglyphics.
Oh,
Can I read for him? Because I was
It's really
beside him.
common. Yes.
I'll have Alex. What is this?
It says in beautiful script, the Lady Elizabeth offers you to dance the second dance.
Oh, God.
The bitch?
Yes.
Yes, one of them.
One of.
Queen bitch.
No thanks.
Can you write that back?
You just tell the servant,
Oh my
no thanks.
gosh.
I'll say I can't leave Alex.
Aww.
Oh, that's sweet.
Do I know how much of a social faux pas it would be for him to turn down a dance?
Oh yeah.
Give
He
me
just doesn't want to leave
a
his friend.
charisma insight check, please. Well, she wouldn't. Most of you wouldn't dance this next dance. You just sit out.
Also,
You sit down
I
and
know
take-
that she's.
There is only 3 dances you must dance at, and only one of them is a paired dance. There are 2 other dances later on in the evening, and I will let you know when you must dance those. It's totally
have to
acceptable
do
to
this
not
then.
participate in this next dance.
Charisma
that
insight
might-
is a definite failure. It's like 8.
You
I
know
might change
that
my answer
it
to that.
can be a little bad to reject somebody for a dance but it's also pretty bad to screw up while dancing with them. So
Pros and
He,
cons.
he wouldn't say no if knowing the information you just
Okay.
said them.
okay,
He thinks they're friends.
yeah. So I'm sure
I
somebody's
really want to
corrected
see
you a
this
few times.
interaction.
As the group
Yes,
of you
please.
note that it happens, you're going over to Elizabeth to accept her invitation.
Hello, Elizabeth.
And I guided him as he walks away.
Hello.
Yeah, the rest of you sort
I
of follow
noticed this
behind.
happening
You
too
see
late.
Clementine as
I
she
won't be following
arrives.
behind. I'm
Clementine is, or you're near enough to see this happen. As just before the Veronica Lavona Vixen is going to toss her rose, you see Ragnar approach Elizabeth, and you just hear, "Surely not, no way. He's not going to ask her to." What do you say when you arrive
This
there?
was a prank.
To Elizabeth?
Hmm?
I got your note.
My note.
Yes. I'll hand it back. I'll hand it to her.
Oh, Ragnar, don't be ridiculous. Somebody's having a laugh with you. I wouldn't ask you to dance in a million years, even if you're the last person on Earth, even if it
Why
meant
not?
saving my life. Well, firstly, think of the social fall, and secondly, look at your oaf-like
I look
boats.
down.
If you step on my foot, I may never dance again.
Oh, good point.
Thirdly, frankly, there's just a lot of better options. I think somebody's having a joke with you.
Can you read this handwriting?
Yes,
on the case.
everyone here can read apart from you. My little brother is
No.
7 and he can read quite easily.
I meant, do you recognize who wrote this?
She screws it up and flicks it away. Irrelevant.
Oh no.
Nobody's going to ask you to dance, Ragnar. Not today, not next year, not ever. Tootle on.
Oh, okay.
And then you will notice the crowd gathering as Veronica Lavona Vixen will stand upon the third step with her rose. Close her
Oh, can I
eyes,
catch it?
toss
Yeah,
it
can I
over
try
her
and catch
shoulder.
it?
Anybody who wishes to go for it. May roll
I
me a
thought
D100.
Ragnar had a crush already.
Who?
Well, Ragnar, this is just a game to Ragnar.
This is a game to him. What are we
He
rolling?
sees
A
something to catch, he's
D100
gonna
if you
and
wish to
catch
try and catch the rose.
All in.
37.
Ugh, 31.
With almost effortless grace, Rydian plucks the rose.
Ugh.
Ew.
Yeah.
God, this is the one thing I wanted to prevent. Anyone but him.
She looks back, and I'll take an
looks
insight check with
constipated.
advantage from either female in the party.
I think you do have insight, Alex. I do not.
Yeah, you may only one of you can, but just choose. So if it's Alex, go. Alex with advantage.
That's
She's
garbage.
disgusting.
12.
For 1 millisecond, you see her mouth just twitch a little bit. And she
Yeah,
smiles
thumbs
and walks over and takes his hand. It's only the first dance. And many more to come, he says.
Ugh.
Well, perhaps with other partners. But nevertheless, at least you're competent. And in the next dance, it will be the Lover's Lament. This is a sort of quite glorious, tragic dance that embodies the sort of the fall of one lover and the rise of another. She's obviously chosen a very interesting moment. She may have known what song was next for this dance, as it's this dance she is forced to dance with Rydian symbolizes the fall of a lover. You will notice that the only 2 other couples dance to this. The first is Aurelius Greycourt, Elizabeth's older brother, and one of the most... Clementine's older brother, and the most eligible gentleman at the court. He is engaged to a woman in Garena, and is going to be hanging there shortly. But he dances with Laurel Tannenbale, who is a young girl. It is a little distasteful that he has chosen. It's a lot of the men dance with younger girls for the fun of it, because they want to dance in many different dances. The Lover's Lament is a distasteful choice on his part.
He's a weirdo.
You can see he's clearly done it on purpose. I'll take a culture check from anybody who is interested, I guess.
You know, I know she's the reincarnation of pure evil, but that look on Elizabeth is really, like, top notch.
She's gorgeous, isn't she?
Yeah, that crushed velvet is, really nice.
Anybody interested? Culture check?
Yeah, I got a nat 20 on that one.
Cael.
Okay.
It is you who notices the look on Rydian's face as he is dancing the floor. There are only 2 groups on the floor, and the only gentleman who is perhaps higher up in court than him and still single is dancing with his little sister to the Lover's Lament.
What a weirdo.
Oh,
It is a
Scandalous.
very harsh slight, not only to Rydian, but to his entire family.
Wow.
The other couple are the Maestro Varello and the Lady Caelharin, who you would assume are probably going to dance together to every single dance, no matter what, as they seem thoroughly enamoured with each other. One other couple takes to the floor, although they keep to one corner. The Wildhearts dance quite joyfully to this, seeming like they are focused only on each other. They haven't noticed the connotation of the falling lover, and they're just enjoying each other's company, much like Caelharin and Maestro Varello.
Beautiful.
There's a few more dances over the course of the evening, and Galen will approach you and say, we're looking for at least somebody to prove their grace. Which one of you would it be?
Who is this?
Galen, he is the
this
etiquette
guy.
teacher. So proving their grace means you're probably going to be asked to do something like serve. So a couple of you could serve wine to the high table.
I look away.
Is there any for me to drink?
He turns his sort of head very harshly towards you. No, there isn't. Well, seeing as you're an imbecile and the other 2 are trying to avoid it, Alex and Cael, you'll do.
They're of the appropriate height.
As he sort of goes to walk away, he turns back and he looks at Olive. Olivia Honeydew. Did you miss the memo about the colour? What's it called? The dress code of this evening?
I've got my
Or do you
red
simply
and
not
my
know
green.
what colours are? Red, gold, and brown. What on earth is that? And he nods towards your skirt.
Well, it's purple.
It's
I added some blue.
a
you know,
mistake.
to symbolize the oncoming
Don't
winter.
make it again.
Winter is coming.
I wait for him to turn around.
I'll be speaking to your parents.
We all collectively look down at our orange outfits.
Yeah, it's a brown, orange, gold, red, you know, like all of the shades of autumn. Purple ain't it? That's where you're at. Cael and Alex, the 2 of you may choose sleight of hand or performance.
Oh, great.
That's a performance from me.
As you are handed,
Really?
yes.
Sorry, just real quick. Do they ever do more than one person dances and or family dances?
Don't worry. You will discover that as the evening goes on.
I'll guide myself.
Oh, look at us.
Okay, so either sleight of hand or performance, please. It's not intended to be any of you on the floor. It's just
Oh no.
I just meant the collective us. Oh, Cael.
16.
each one of you is handed a crystal goblet, crystal decanter, sorry, and invited to lean over and pour the wine on the table. You start, well, not on the table, although that may be what Cael's about to do. As you start at either end, you work your way towards Lady Felia and Lord Bantus. Alex, you pour for Diplomat Kurkan, you pour for Lorelei, who gives you a gentle smile. You pour for what's his name? Scribe Thadus, who is currently sat speaking to the Lord Bantus, and then you pour for Lord Bantus, and you perform adequately. There's no grace to your movement, there's no elegance to it, but you at least make it through without dropping anything. From the other side, you first of all pour for the Lady Azuri, Cael, and then for Maestro Varello, And then for currently, Madame Cortatia is sat speaking to Lady Felia, and then as you pour for Lady Felia, the decanter slips slightly, and you try and catch it.
Uh-oh.
And the wine splashes up delightfully out of it.
Oh, no.
Straight into her lap. She looks at you.
Clean it real quick.
Oh, don't worry, dear. Don't worry. There's a reason that we get the younger nobles to check it. To try and prove their grace, or perhaps lack of in this particular instance. Don't worry about it. Nobody will make a big deal of it. And she gestures, and she sort of moves back a little bit, and the gestures with her hand, and the wine rises up off of her dress and flows into her goblet, and she says, "Nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about at all."
I still offer her my sincerest apologies.
As you turn around, Galen takes the crystal decanter firmly out of your hand and looks at you. Boy, you are just one disappointment after another. Even without some sort of unusual magical catastrophe, you have still managed to embarrass yourself in front of the most esteemed lady at the entire court. Make yourself scarce. Immediately. Cael, the next roll you make will have a -5 to it.
Oh my god, you've been scorned.
I have a question. Are the two old ladies within the rat races here?
Mm-hmm.
Who did they dance with?
The Lady Petronelle danced with Sir Percival Farron, an old gentleman a little beyond his years. And the Lady Roselda Romaine at the paired dance probably danced with Count Nariel.
Ooh.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
She's quite esteemed within the court, Lady Roselda Romaine, if a little eccentric. However, it is time for where the hell did I put this? Over here somewhere. It is time for the Green Weaver's Step. This is a large group dance that involves weaving circles and changing partners, mimicking threads crossing on a loom.
Oh, cool. I'm sure that'll go well.
You will all be invited to the dance. It is very distasteful to refuse. But as you will be sort of gliding in between various different partners, it is quite easy to make a fool of yourself.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
Nice.
At least only one of you has a -5 to your next roll.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Cael, are you okay?
Okay, I will ask you, please, who will be on your right and who will be on your left as you take your place upon the dance floor. Hugo, we'll start with you, because I'm sure there will be no surprises.
My mum and dad will be in my right and left.
Yep. Olivia.
Oh, wow, cute. I'll be next to Alex and Cael.
Okay.
Is that a choice? Is that an
Cael,
option?
you've got Olivia on your left. Who's on your right?
At this rate, I would hazard a guess and say it's probably my mother who decided to come scurrying over again.
And on Alex's left hand is Ragnar. Ragnar, in your right hand is your mother's arm.
Nice.
And as the dance begins, please, I need 3 checks from you.
Okay.
The first is performance, to which Cael will have a -5.
Okay, so just a flat 0.
Yeah, okay. Rolls,
0
please.
for me, lovely.
Oh, yeah, because at least this is something you have a bad roll at generally.
What do you mean flat 0?
As in, he has a +0.
Oh. Performance.
What the heck? What the heck?
Did anybody get below 10?
Me, 9.
Fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
You swung your mother into a random guy's back. It was very embarrassing. He turned round and swore at you. But in the space of the dance, you weren't even aware who it was. For your second... Anybody else get below 10?
Yeah, because I ended up having a -5 to the 11.
So you got what?
No.
6.
Oh, I
The
forgot about
6.
that.
A 6. Oh, Cael, with a 6, as it came for your turn to turn your partner, you accidentally kept your arm still and swung yourself and crashed face first.
Oh, man.
Face
Don't do yourself, not
first.
someone else.
Into a 9-year-old boy,
Aww.
knocking him flat on his back in the
He
middle of
looks
the dance.
mischievous
That's
anyway.
a little evil anyways.
Yeah.
Whilst Matthias laughed about it, this is the Malavas.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And as you turn back, you just get a cuff across the side of the ear from Sir Malava. Sir Osric Malava, you will take 4 bludgeoning damage
Oh my god.
That's like all your health.
and
That's
have
Uldor-
disadvantage
Uldor's little
on your
brother?
next run. That is
Yeah.
Uldor's little brother. You are in
Is he
for
also
a
big?
world of pain. Well, considering that's a 9-year-old,
Well, I mean, is he big for a 9-year-old is what I mean.
it looks like it to me.
Oh my gosh, I think Cael just got concussion.
Actually, is he the 9-year-old? Let me just double check. I just gotta double check. I'm pretty sure he's the 9-year-old, but I have to scroll down to Malavas.
No, he's 14 with that.
Oh, he's the 14-year-old. So yes, he is. He's a sharp-tongued and quick-witted. He's the slightest of the Malavas, but is no stranger to court politics. Already learning to navigate court politics, much to his mother's quiet delight. He will probably find a way to make life hell for you, and you'll have disadvantage on your next roll.
14? What a shitty age.
On the next check, please, I will take from all of you a perception check as you seek to find your next partner.
Oh,
Oh,
Lord.
Christ.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
15.
Sorry.
15 also.
19.
Winning.
I'm becoming an
Now we're
expert.
cooking with God. What? Cael, what's going on?
He rolled a 1! He rolled a 1!
Bling
He
out.
rolled a 1!
You
had
can illusion of
disadvantage?
guilty.
Did anybody other than Cael get below a 10?
No, we all did very well.
I think all 4 of you are proficient, right?
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
He had
So
disadvantage too?
he had disadvantage because he got hit around the head by Aldrich and took 4 bludgeoning damage. And then, as you were meant to take,
Unnatural 1.
the arm of Serena, you went led with your left arm instead of your right, and you locked arms both with Veronica Lavonovics and Eldrin Penbrook, as they were both already linked, and as you become a third link,
Oh,
you are
you're
nothing
real.
but a pure embarrassment. However, Veronica very deftly hooks your arm, turns you, puts you in the right partner's
Okay.
arm, and
That's
passes you on.
We can send this
Eldrin
around.
shoots you daggers.
Oh,
Oh, I thought you were gonna say with a gun.
In your third and final check, guys, I will take from you,
God.
please, a acrobatics check.
Okay.
That's just fantastic.
Come on.
5.
Okay.
Fuck.
14.
Anybody get below a 12?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
How bad, Olivia? How bad?
Let me just do the math again. 4.
Hey, Olivia. As you were swung into the arms of the
Oh,
rather
I'm so
lovely
small.
and dashing Sir Bertram Halesbury, he's a little. No, wrong person. I was expecting him to be dashing, and that is not the right man.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
like interesting description.
No, where's he gone? Where have I lost?
Oh my god. I thought I was gonna make it out of this.
Oh, sorry, Aurelius Greycoat. There you go.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
He is dancing beautifully and gracefully, and as he swings your arm, he goes to pass you to the next person, who is unfortunately Hugo. And
Oh, come on.
he passes you at adult height.
Ah!
You clear Hugo's head and
Oh
the
my
edge of the dance
God.
floor, and slam into a table, knocking 3 glasses and a servant backwards. And
Wow, why do I get
falling,
the worst of
flying
it?
out the dance because you rolled a 4.
Cause you suck at dancing!
Oh man. Wait a minute,
No,
Dixie.
I'm-
Hugo, you find yourself partnerless at one moment, although it doesn't help as Ragnar, I think you got a 5, is that right?
That is
As
correct.
Ragnar sort of stumbles sideways into you, and you and Cael and Ragnar, right, Cael, you did also fail, right? You got below 12?
Yeah.
Yeah, but as you can, and Ragnar sort of fall into a bundle in the corner, and you just hear Galen's voice as he looks down at the 3 of you going, "What an absolute disgrace to Drathnor Keep."
Ah.
I'm laughing on the floor.
Oh man, it is kind of funny. I'm in a heap.
I'm
but it's
looking-
painful.
I cannot believe the unfathomable embarrassment. How could you make such a distasteful mess of... And you just hear, Galen, go somewhere else. I've got better things to do this evening than pick on children. Galen is your etiquette teacher. And
that guy, right, yeah.
the Lady Lorelei will reach her hand down and offer her hand to you, Ragnar, to pull you up.
I will take it.
And she pulls you up with surprising strength. And then she reaches down a hand to Cael and a hand to Hugo. Are you a barbarian? No.
I'll take her hand a bit unsteadily because I'm still a little dazed, but gently at that as well.
This evening is an evening for enjoyment and fun. Come. The next dance is quite a jaunty one, and I really enjoy it. So perhaps, Cael, Ragnar, you'll do me the honor of dancing with me? I believe, Hugo, your parents are looking for you.
Okay, by all means.
And she will be put between the middle of you. Now, this is a dance where, at the beginning at least, you are swung up into the air, the central person, and swung back, and then swung backwards and swept back. It's done in a line of 3. You step forward, and you step back, and you swing your partners in the middle. Lorelei will be looking to be swung by Ragnar and Cael, though God. You will note as you go to swing her that she seems to effortlessly lift herself into the air and back, relying not on your strength at all, to ensure that Cael doesn't struggle in the... Well, there's an imbalance, right, in height and size.
She's trying to help us look good.
She is helping you look good. She is trying to cover your lack of grace. Hugo,
incompetency.
Your parents will swing you in the middle, and you'll notice as you look around, a lot of parents are swinging the child in the middle, or the younger in the middle. Olivia, your parents will be more than happy to try and recruit some of your grace by putting you in the middle. Alex, nobody approaches you. Your grandparents are not dancing, they're sat at the edge. And there is this sort of awkward moment where most of the younger people are sort of free to move about. The people your age. Only the halflings, really, and Ragnar and Cael in this instance, are getting involved in what is seen as a sort of more childish dance.
Yeah,
and
I'll sit back to watch Lorelei.
Yes, and you just hear, well, there's some grace you'll never match from behind you. As you turn back, you see Kieran Caraway and Kenvar Ashwinton.
It's them.
They look down at you and say, "Did you know that your young friend over there dancing with his parents, Hugo, was looking for love last night? Isn't that sweet?" Well, the night before last, technically.
Put him on blast.
It's a noble pursuit.
Yes, if only he wasn't looking for people twice his height and twice his age in the Dancing Dryad. He didn't even make it in the door. Kieran cracks up, and Kenvar says, "No, he got close and then scurried away like the little rat he is so fond of." Pathetic, don't you think?
And what were you doing there?
Oh. We were visiting the ladies, ensuring that we were practiced and well ready for our next encounter with a esteemable and eligible lady. Not anything like you.
Jesus.
It's a place where many of the nobles of court go to experience the wonders of the world and enjoy good drink and good company. I'm surprised we haven't seen you there, earning yourself a side dollar.
Dollars.
With that, they will stalk away. Hugo, what is going on with you and your parents?
Yeah, after complete
as you're being mocked over there.
After a couple of swings, could we do our own dance?
Yeah. All the families tend to do some of them. So with the small kids, sometimes they sort of take one arm each. Sometimes with the larger groups, they do a sort of arm in arm little jig, which is probably what's happening now. Ragnar and Cael, you would have your arm across Lorelei's shoulder, and the three of you are sort of kicking a leg and back, and Ragnar sort of lifting a foot while Cael and Lorelei are doing a kick.
I'm about to describe something very British, so I apologise.
It's all right. I will aim to translate.
Only 3 of us will get it.
Okay. So you know how one dances around a maypole with holding a ribbon.
Yes, maypole. Yes. So basically, I was just clarifying for the pronunciation because these guys don't know what it is. there's basically a large totem pole with a ribbon. Hangs out, lots and lots of people walk.
I've seen
twists the ribbon
Midsummer.
around,
Don't worry.
And then they go back the other way. Yes, it is a bit like yeah. You've been to Renaissance Fair. Great.
To the Renaissance
Well, there you go. It happens at Renaissance Fair. So we're all on board, Josh. Off you
We're
go.
all nerds.
There's no maypole and no ribbons. I am dying to see how this turns out.
No. Yes. So instead of a pole and ribbons, instead they all put their hands, one hand in their center, and then they like skip around in a circle and like dance and like turn and stuff.
Yeah. And you will just hear from behind you. How is it that even at the only ball of the entire year designed to encompass and embrace peasantry, they still manage to look provincial? Ugh. Your mother says, pay them no mind. Skip to the left. And you see that she does not give a shit.
Wonderful. As my mum says that, I will lift my spare hand up, and these kind of like I don't mean like each one. It's lots of different colors. I mean, each one represents a different color. They're like little glowing fireflies. I will cast fairy fire above me as we dance.
Beautiful. Yeah, you will also note that some of the lights seem to be drifting in various colors in patterns. And those of you with a passive perception of 14 or higher will notice that Maldranik is moving his fingers in time to the music, allowing the lights to move.
How festive.
Sorry, Matt, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Also, doesn't Fairy Fire like have your movement? What does Fairy Fire do?
No, although everyone does need to make dex saves.
Fairy Fire would make it
you.
easier for you to hit. Yes, but at the moment everybody is well lit and easy to hit anyway.
Oh.
No one's invisible, right?
We've got advantage on everybody. Let's go.
It's finally our time.
Yeah. After this, it will be time for the masked box.
God.
At this moment, you will all take your seats briefly. And a single noble, you're not sure who, though, he's wearing a sort of black cape that's designed to come right up to the neck and go right around and all the way to the floor. You would know that it is not a halfling, at least. Comes around wearing a sort of mask of it's a golden flame-like mask. It's the mask of the Harvest-Tide Bull. And each one of you and everybody else at the ball will be invited to guess its contents. The winner gets 100 gold pieces.
What's in this box?
Just guess what's in the box. For your knowledge, it is a 6-inch high box, approximately. It's square, about 10 inches in width and length.
Can we touch the box?
Yeah.
Do we know from previous years what sort of stuff has been in it?
Yes, one year was a phoenix feather. The previous year was a slice of cake. Before that, there was a small vase, a single monocle, a shoe.
Literally. That's so random.
There's no seeming theme. However, I will ask each of you, please, for an investigation check.
Okay.
This is because a few hints are dropped in the lead up to the festival. Unfortunately, you guys are not very well clued in, so you will only maybe have heard one hint, whereas some of these nobles would have heard 6.
I assume this is not something that could be guidanced.
No, because it happened a week ago. Yep. So did anybody get above a 15?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
16.
22.
Ragnar and Olivia, you heard a single clue. In sadness, life. Probably should have given that clue after asking the other 3 for their guesses, thinking about it. Trying to dismiss that from your minds. Hugo, what do you tell the noble that you think
Really? I'm first? I don't even get to try and think about the clue you just gave?
No, you don't. Just straight off the bat, because you wouldn't have heard it.
Okay, so we've had phoenix feathers, cake. I'm gonna guess, even though it may be cruel, I'm assuming that maybe there's some holes cut out of the other side of the box that we don't see, and there is a kitten inside.
Oh, cute. I hope we get to keep the
You have
cat.
never heard of a live creature being put in here before, and you don't hear it.
Exactly.
But perhaps. Cael? No clue.
I'll take a
Just
look
a
at the
random
box.
guess.
Yeah, no clue whatsoever. How big was it you said again?
6 inches high, 10 by 10 inches in. It's a square with 6 inches in height.
I kind of have a feeling this box might be mostly empty, and it's not going to be something that fills up the entire box.
That has certainly been the case before. Once it was Lord Bantus's wedding ring.
Oh my god.
Oh, that was going to be my guess.
Once it was a wedding ring. In that case, I would just hazard a guess at, say, a sort of... How do I explain it? It's like, not
Quickly.
sort of jeweled, but crystal-like. It's like a flower, sort of a flower bloom.
Yeah, okay. A flower,
from,
like a flower
crystal and
brooch.
jewels.
Like sort of style.
Yeah, kind of,
Yeah,
a bit
okay.
like that, yeah.
Cool. Alex?
Bejeweled hair comb.
Okay.
Wow.
Olivia, in sadness,
Can you-
life.
An onion.
How clever.
What a bad guess.
I love that.
If only it went with any of the other clues. It went well with this one. I like your
With what I
try.
got.
Ragnar.
In sadness, life. That was the clue.
Yeah. In sadness, life.
A little vial of tears.
I thought about that too.
Matt? I will not give you any gold because somebody is going to guess correctly because they've got the other clues. But with only one clue, that is a sublime guess. However, you've had a D8 today, so I'd like to ask you, which player would you like to give a D6 to?
Wow.
Elora or Alex for being my dance partner.
Aww.
I like that. Yeah, so once it goes around the whole way, you will find out that this is indeed a vial of tears.
Actually,
It is very specifically the tears of a dryad. You are missing the very key clue that it would perhaps be in place if the dancing stopped. Lorelei might have extracted these. Salty, but not the ocean. And other such clues that would lead to this point.
Tears of the Clown.
Oh my
no.
god.
But to go vial of tears off the one guess was really quite fantastic.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
So, kudos to you. But yes, so 100 gold pieces goes to Lady Roselda Romaine.
Yay.
I think she cheated like she does in the rat races.
Probably. And with that, we come to our third and final dance, the Ember Stride. This is a solo showcase dance where each one of you provides dancing improvisation over a fixed beat. You must participate in this if you are between the ages of 18 and 25. Nobody else may participate.
only the nobles. This doesn't sound good.
So, your other participants in the dance will be Elizabeth Dandemar, Clementine Greycourt, Eldrin Penbrook, Adamor Winthorn, Kenvar Ashwinter, Kieran Carraway, Sir Nassim, Amberfall, Ridian Talonvale, Serena Hallisbury, Uldor Malaver, Veronica Lavonna Vixen, Wilhelm, son of Soluran, and Aurelius Greycourt. Yeah, I think that's the full list. And you lot.
I'm excited for this. I'm excited.
How has Nazim been dancing? Jovially?
He doesn't seem to be affected in the
That's
slightest.
true, actually.
He's
He hates
just
his
rolling
dad.
with it. Either that or he is so well schooled in keeping his cool that he knows that he...
Feel.
Well, also,
Set
it would
him
be
up.
an embarrassment to his father should he fail to hold up well. I will ask you each one by one how you are dancing.
Oh, God.
This is a
I
solo
love
dance?
this. I have
It
no
is
idea.
a solo movement where participants are asked to improvise over a fixed beat.
Oh,
It is
Jesus.
fast, and as you all approach the ball, this will be your first years doing it, because you have to be adults of the court.
Nice.
You have seen the others do this before. Veronica Lavonna Vixen heads straight to the middle, and you will see she sort of raises a single hand and pulls a fan out. And as she
God.
begins to sort of fan in order, she trots to one side and to the other. It is such a stunning spectacle that Elizabeth and Clementine and Ridian's efforts are fairly ignored. The only thing that could possibly distract from this beautiful spectacle is something equally disastrous. So, Matt, what's Ragnar up to?
I'm trying to find
I'd like to take a moment before you do. Okay, I'll let you search that, but I would like to just take a moment before you do to remind everyone that we had a dance-off at a ball before in Drathnor Keep. Once upon a long time. And one ridiculous orcish barbarian nat 20'd his way
Nat 20, yes he did.
So, if you'd like to find your GIF, I will ask first, Mikyala, what is Olivia up to?
James, just really quickly, a question about this. Are all of us dancing at the same time? Or were we
Every one of you is on the dance floor at once.
Oh, that sucks.
Okay.
Hence how Veronica is distracting from all of you as long as you don't fuck up drastically.
Okay,
Your
great.
parents, however, will be clapping along and cheering you. What are you doing, Olivia?
I'm shuffling, baby.
Every day I'm shuffling.
Exactly. I'm just doing like a quick little two-step in place and trying to make it look like I'm doing something more fancy than I actually am.
The only things you can hear as you are doing this, unless you'll roll me a performance check, by the way. You do hear somebody say, "Is that a bear?" Sewn onto her skirt?
It's not good.
What is she doing? What an embarrassment. Olivia, your performance check is
7. Can I?
Hugo, what are you up to? Can you what? Sorry, Mikyala.
Can I cast chameleon skin on myself?
No. Hugo, what are you up to? And preferably, guys, no spells from any of you because it really limits. It really limits what others can contribute.
Does that include guidance?
No. What were you thinking, Josh?
I was thinking about casting a spell.
What sort of spell, though? Like something drastic?
Well, first of all, I was hoping we had the whole floor together. So then, now that we don't, I was going to ask if I can kind of limit the radius so that it's just over me. I was going to dance a very, with very sharp movements, like a tango, but I wanted to use Create or Destroy Water to have it be raining on me, so it's even more dramatic.
I would say Hugo probably is aware that sort of magic would not be welcomed on the dance floor. Something subtle and not visible you might get away with, like a guidance or some sort of ability booster, but not that. So a short, sharp tango, is it, Josh?
What if I don't have the rain to make it cool?
You ain't meant to be cool. You're Hugo Wildheart. And he ain't cool. Skip out of time, leap and prance.
I don't want to just actively do bad.
Might not affect your roll.
I will take out my orange and red ribbon. That is 3 times my height.
Yep.
And I will begin ribbon dancing.
Lovely. Give me a performance check.
Yeah.
I think it was a +0. Yeah, 16.
Okay. Ragnar. Matt. What is going on over there?
My mic is muted. I have
Whoa.
I have an actual video. First I have to ask.
A music video?
Well, no, I was just trying to. I have the exact answer. I was trying to find. Has anyone here seen the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special?
Absolutely.
Alright, at the end, Drax goes into the middle of a bunch of kids and starts dancing, and that is the dance I'm doing. I'm going to share it right now.
Oh, good.
Okay, for the benefit of those who can't see the GIF, can you give us a brief description of what that looks like?
He puts his arm. He kind of is just standing there awkwardly in the middle of a bunch of kids, and then moves his arms up in the air back and forth and kind of shakes his body.
Oh, great. Love that. Give me a performance check, and I don't think you sent the video if you're intending to.
But it's going to be awesome.
I just sent it.
There we go. Ah.
Alright, performance check?
Yep. I'm gonna have to watch that after the session.
Oh, I rolled a natural 19 for an 18.
Oh my god, everyone.
One off my nat 20.
Alex, what you up to?
Sort of like a ballet-esque, ballet ballroom mixture.
Okay. In this instance, you may add your proficiency modifier.
So it's just a +0.
Oh, good. Bon chance.
And that is. I said I guidance myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's 14.
Okay. Cael. What are you up to?
I was hoping I would have been able to use my mage hand to help my cloak with the billowing and the turns and stuff.
Oh wow.
Nope.
Can't mage hand to
No.
make it
Only
look a
magic
little
that's
bit
got no
better.
vision
Okay.
effect. So you will have to rely on your own performance to get that cloak billowing. As you are doing what?
Okay.
What are you doing as you're prancing around?
Mostly just going to be doing a few how do I?
You twirling?
A side of dance which has plenty of twirls, so I can below the cloak.
Okay.
Yep.
Go ahead and give me a performance check. As you twirl away.
Let's see how disastrous it is.
I mean, you're the only person with a positive modifier, so... Hugo, Ragnar, Alex, and Cael, in your own little way, just bear in mind you're on a totally different scale to everyone else, right? Okay. So your 18 is their 10. But nevertheless, you handle yourselves okay. You hear the applause of your family, sort of, woo! Go on, Ragnar! And then you sort of a little more quietly, Alex, that's wonderful. And then sort of Hugo's parents are sort of yipping and yaying. Cael, your mother is cheering on for you. Olivia, your parents started off by cheering, and they've gone an ashen silent. As you shuffle your way in front of Eldrin at one moment, you almost back up into Kenvar, who has to step around you. At one moment, Sir Nassim Amberfall, who was in sort of honor of his father, was doing a sort of sword dueler's motion. You stepped right in the way, ruining his moment. It is nothing but a total debacle.
I didn't want to come to this stupid dance anyway.
I'm sure you will look forward to the next one in a couple of weeks. In the meantime, you may exit the stage in sheer shame. The rest of you, it was all right.
Just all right.
It was all right.
I think it's fabulous.
Just all right.
As we approach the end of the ball, you will hear people sort of moving around, and during the dances, conversation is taking place. You will hear a couple of rumors, maybe not. Perception check from all of you, please.
Man,
Yes.
that's awful.
Oh, yep, that's a no.
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 Thank you, Hugo.
Hugo saw it.
Hugo, you hear that the orc clans have been stirring again, and some say they've been cooperating. And a little later, you hear one of the twins say to the other, the twins are Roderick and Jotun, by the way. One of the twins say to the other, "Did you hear that one of the rats Lady Petronil races was actually enchanted? They grew to 3 feet tall, and then it ran off. I swear on my uncle's boots!" That may or may not be true. But as the ball wanes and the evening comes to an end, we are left only with the burning of the wheat sheaves. All of the wheat sheaves are raised off the table slightly by a seeming sort of levitation.
What Maldranek's doing?
Yes, you would know this is definitely Maldranek's role. Traditionally, it would, however, be an invited druid's role to light the bottom of the wheat sheaves with their magic. Instead, in this particular moment, it seems that somebody else has been asked. As everybody stands to the side of the dance floor, the wheat sheaves rise in a beautiful wreath in a circle around the centre of the dance floor. They begin to swirl and twirl gently. And the Lady Petronil sort of steps from her seat.
Oh.
It's over.
Yay.
Terribly sorry that it's me this year, not somebody a little more druidic in nature, but it will have to suffice, I suppose. And you just see Lady Azura say, "Shh. There's a moment you're not meant to be." And you see the cellist sort of begin his piece. The lights go dark. till a single flame begins to burn at the edge of the wheat sheaf. At first it is slow as it lights all the way along. Finally, the whole wheat sheaf burns. As we say goodbye to one harvest, we move into the winter. A time of hope, a time of community, a time where we stand together against the cold. May next year be as bountiful as this. Light to darkness. Brightness extinguished. And with that, Meldronic bows his head. There's a whoosh. And then as the torches relight, you see the ash fall slowly to the ground. Very slowly from the ash, you see in certain places a little tiny green shoot. Blades of grass with little white flowers. Snowdrops. As the feast comes to an end, you may take 10 experience points.
Yay!
10. Boo, only 20.
This is for the hearing of the rumor of the orcs.
Thank you, Josh.
Well done, Josh. It could have been an XP-less session. There was XP for both participants succeeding in the gift of grace. There was XP for all 5 people managing to stay on the dance floor during the grain dance. And there was XP for one of the party correctly guessing what was in the box. In other words, you didn't get any of it.
Didn't I correctly guess that?
You got pretty close.
Technically.
Go on, take another 5.
Nice.
Yay!
It was 10 XP for the correct guess, but I'll give you 5, halfway there.
Partial credit.
So 15 XP from the session. There was meant to be a duel at the session, but in the light of Godric Amberfall's leaving, it was seen as distasteful. Not an actual duel, a performance duel. So that will take place next bull. But we will come to the timeless tradition of MVPs, and I will take the obvious, I guess, and Matt's quip as we entered the be-read back screen of, I guess, Godric Amberfell out the sky.
Oh my god.
For which he had a D8, which he expended to not throw Alex on the floor. Speaking of Alex, Elora, your MVP.
Obviously I had that one, but I'll throw it back to just the moment of flaky pastry with spiced bear.
Oh, leave me alone. I think I only stumbled over that menu once, right? That's not too bad, right?
No, it just happened to be a bear, and that felt targeted.
But if it wasn't a bear as opposed to a pear, I probably wouldn't have slipped. I think out of the corner of my eye, I caught Olivia's picture coming up on the GIF as well, which is probably yeah, it happened. Jamal.
Well, aside from everyone dislike that, or Clover dislike that, I'm going to have to go, since both those great ones were taken, I'm going to go with the absolute insane Hail Mary of the Tears being that fucking on point. That was just, what?
Josh?
Absolute blindsided with that one.
I think probably the way the other younger nobles attacked us this session, like with Alex in the bathroom, and the throwing of the food and picking Oliver and ratting out Hugo to Alex. It was all like so like pointed and sharp, and I just hope they get their comeuppance.
Might be a long wait. Matt.
I really liked every time someone failed a check while dancing. That made it more fun. And I really like the way all the nobles are played. Has anyone seen the Hunger Games, the Ballad of Songbird and Snakes?
Mm-hmm.
You remember how snobby the Catholic kids are in that movie?
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what these nobles in this movie,
Yep.
this campaign, remind me of.
That reminds me of Matthias and his sister.
The Lagon twins.
The Lagon twins that you guys met during Academy of Shah.
Shah.
Sorry,
Oh,
Mikyala,
yeah.
to just leave you out again. But it was the same table after Drathnor.
Ziggy tried
Josh
being
and
friends with
Jamal got the pleasure of meeting their evil grown-up selves in Beldania.
Are you serious?
Yeah. They were super
Yeah.
evil. They had.
Did they talk about their friend Ziggy?
No, never.
No,
Not once.
they see having a
but-
weird incestuous relationship with each other.
Yeah, they also
no.
got all the children of an entire Academy of Shah making suggestion wands to mass control the populace,
Yeah, they're all
and
mind
took over the entirety of Jolston. Yeah, they were pretty evil.
Wow.
Mikyala, your
Very
MVP.
cool. I was gonna say basically the same thing as Josh. I like how mean everyone was to us. Really feels like, yeah, it's very clear that it sucks here for us,
It does.
and that's
It does.
why we're buddies with each other and no one
This
else.
is supposed to be the one good country.
It is. It is. The country's good.
Is it?
It's just to keep us full of
It's just
bricks.
not good for us.
It's just not good for you. You're outcasts. You're irrelevant. I think I'd like to give it a little kudos. I know at the end of last session I sort of had a little chat with you guys about responding, right? And it's very difficult. Elora put it really well. It's very difficult to not respond in a situation that feels like it's a call and response, DM to player, right? Or at least to respond in a way where you demonstrate your body language, or you're falling away, or you're wincing, or your incapacity to fight back because these people are above you. And we saw that demonstrated in the conversation between Hugo and his mother, where she was saying, not only do you have to make your own way without embarrassing us by making a scene, your parents can't step in because their social standing at court defines your future and your lives, right? It's a harsh and difficult time. But nevertheless, I think you guys did a great job. I hope you had a lovely time at the Bull, bullied or not. However, that is where we're going to end. So if you guys would like to say goodbye,
Goodbye.
Bye.
we shall see you soon.